Torah portion Vayeira, Hagar and her son Yishmael were leaving Avrohom and Sarah's tent. They were going into the desert, into the wilderness, with one bottle of water, which unfortunately ran out very quickly. They were left and looking for food and water in the desert, and there was nothing there. Unfortunately, Yishmael started to get really poorly and started dehydrating and getting more ill, and then started dying. Hagar couldn't look at Yishmael dying, so she put him underneath a bush and left him there. An angel appeared, showed Hagar where the well was, and good ending to the story. Yishmael got water, and that's it. But the question is, why would Hagar just leave her son dying and push him to the side? It's her son dying. How could she just not watch her son dying and just push him to the side and leave him there? That's crazy. You know, to be a giver is sometimes really hard. It's sometimes easier to just put ourselves in a bubble and just think that everything around us and the world around us is all rosy and, you know, only nice things go on around us, and just that's so much easier sometimes. But unfortunately, sometimes to be a real giver, we need to actually feel the pain around us, and we actually have to be vulnerable and let ourselves feel the pain and empathize with people around us who are in those situations, because that is one really hard and a very big way of giving. So this actually reminds me of a story of a good friend of mine. She was going through a really hard time in her life where her mum was really poorly, and she was taking this medicine which was making her feel really sick, and the daughter was there and she was watching her mum, and she really had a big moral dilemma at the time. She was young and she just found it so difficult to watch her mum in this situation. At the end of the day, it was her mum, you know, her mum who's always been caring for her whole life. And here she was, you know, being sort of a carer and just having to be there for her. And she just so didn't want to be there. She so didn't want to be there. It was the most difficult thing to watch her mum like this. She couldn't watch it. She wanted to escape. She wanted to run out the house and escape the situation and just not be there. But then there was another side of her head that said, you know, this is so difficult. It's so difficult. I don't want to be here. But it's my mum. It's my mum. I need to be there. I need to feel her pain and be there. I need to make this very uncomfortable, awful situation, I need to make it as comfortable for her and for my dad as possible. So she decided to stay. She decided to stay there and go and ride through that pain of hers. And you know what? Now, this memory is stuck with her, because this was the true way of giving. A very difficult way of giving, because it was so painful. And I think that we can all take that with us, because yeah, in life, unfortunately, we are given these situations, we are put in these situations where we just want to run away. We just want to run away. It's just the easier option. But we have to remind ourselves that it is really hard, but it's actually an incredible and true way of giving. Being a giver means to go beyond your pain and to feel the pain of others. I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. Be great, be a giver, and don't be afraid to feel somebody else's pain.